Chapter 2, Section 2. Women's Suffrage by Kate, Hope, Eli, and Daniel.
The right to vote for women was a major focus since the Women's Rights Convention, where Elizabeth Stanton read the Declaration of Sentiments at Seneca Falls. It declared that all men and women are created equal and demanded suffrage, the right to vote for women. The 14th and 15th Amendment granted the right to vote to African American men, splitting the women's movement while some supported this, others did not, since it wasn't including women. At this time, women were still treated the same way as children. They could not vote, their husbands could beat them, and they could not own land.
The National American Women's Suffrage Association, also known as NAWSA, was formed in 1890. Women's rights pioneers such as Elizabeth Stanton and Susan B. Anthony.
Carrie Chapman Catt changed from changing arguments emphasizing the equality of men and women to making arguments emphasizing that the vote would allow women to better fulfill their traditional role of caretaker for their families.
By 1819, most states had the full voting right to women and even recognized the right of women to own and control property after marriage.
NAWSA and other organizations left out black women. They thought it would handicap their efforts.
Later on, black women created their own association.
Ida B. Wells Barnett launched an anti-lynching campaign, which eventually became the National Association of Colored Women.
Alice Paul and Lucy Barnes advocate for the use of more daring tactics. Paul formed the Congressional Union within NAWSA to aid the work of NAWSA's congressional committees. In 1916, Paul and Burns formed the National Women's Party, a single-issue party that was women's suffrage, but it would not endorse any candidate. They decided not to put their campaign on hold in order to support the World War I effort. They picketed the White House and got arrested, then attempted a hunger strike. The effort of the NWP served to make groups like NAWSA look reasonable in comparison. It was a combination of the different groups such as NAWSA, NWP, and patriotic women who worked tirelessly to support the war efforts. In November 1920, women across the United States, including Carrie Chapman Catt and Alice Paul, cast their first ballots for the first time in a president election.